and then if you have anything to add to the agenda and any distractions. I'm feeling fine. My intentions or the agenda, I put the things on the agenda already that I wanted to talk about. I'm just distracted by, like, I don't know, we launched the Cult E3 Gen Farm, and I need to make sure that, like, the rewards are flowing well, and I don't know, I was distracted in the Connect meeting, so I feel like I missed some things and that, but anyway, I will pass it to Ahmad.
All right, awesome. Yeah, it's nice to be here. I missed last week's meeting, but I'm excited about this new format. And I think it's good that we have both of the calls back to back. Intentions are what's already listed in the agenda. I added a couple of things that I'll go over when the time comes, and I'm not distracted. I'm excited to get started. Let me pass it on to...
Thanks, Ahmad. Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I'm here to learn some stuff, see everybody's beautiful faces. I'm feeling a bit distracted because it's been a crazy end of the day over here. Pretty crazy, pretty kind of pooped at this point in the day. So I'm going to take a deep breath and refocus. I will pass to Sam.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I also missed last week, so my intention is to catch up on what happened and also the Connect call. I know that it's just the one before this. And then my intentions just to update on things that I'm working on and understand what can shift in priority, because I have three tasks that may need to be adjusted. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll pass to Katabi.
Hey, thanks. Hey, everyone. So also missed last week, but happy to be here now. My intention is to sync up, see how can I help. The things there are a few things that I've had on the backlog, and I guess we all have in the backlog, like sending the project's email, and I want to close some issues. That's it. So I'll pass it to Corey.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I'm just having a moment where I forgot what we're supposed to say here exactly.
Intentions, distractions.
Yeah. Yep. My intentions for this call, of course, is to pay a lot more attention because I would like to jump in to help manage it next week. I don't have any distractions right now. And I'm sorry, what was the last thing? That covers it. Okay.
Anything to someone else.
I'm kind of moving at a very fast pace today. Sorry, guys. I will pass it to Melody if you haven't spoken yet.
Yeah, so intentions obviously to join on Compa and listen in, see what report, and the distractions I'll be cooking at the same time. But I've got my headset on, so yeah. I'll pass it on to Jake.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, intentions for me is to assist anything donor relations. I think Ahmad might be touching on that a little bit during the call, so assist him if needed. Distractions, 0. And I will pass it on to Benz.
Hey, doing well. Intentions are to kind of feel out this kind of a way that I can fit in and incorporate this into some of the other activities and competing interests, just to kind of incorporate those things for myself. And distractions, I just made some breakfast, so I'll be eating that, but that's it. I will pass to Shuga. Did you go yet? You did? Oh, shoot. Melody.
I didn't hear who you passed it to. Oh, Melody.
I
Melody.
did too. I did.
Yeah. Let's pass it to Nicola.
Hello. Okay.
Sorry, we cannot hear you.
Oh. Oh no.
Like mic sensitivity, maybe.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Much better. Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. My intentions are to keep synced up with you and see how much more I can assist and maybe, check in on some issues. And no distractions. Good to be here with you. Passing on to, I don't know, Oki?
Hey everyone, I'm here to listen. I'm a little distracted because I'm down south with family in Colombia now, but I want to check in on the communication side that's developing in Giveth. And I'm going to pass it to Jess Veros.
I think Ashley might be last.
Thanks. Yeah. Hey. My intentions for the call: sync up with everybody, update on my issues, maybe give a demo of this project nomination flow, how this will work, as I think everything's pretty much ready to go. It could maybe use a review, but yes. And distractions, I don't really have any. I have a headache and I'm feeling kind of crappy today, but I'm here. And yeah, that's me. I think I'm last.
I think so too. Speak up if you were forgotten. No, great, excellent. Cool. Okay, cool. So I put some things on the agenda here, and they're not in like any particular order, but I think we can kind of touch on the first ones relatively quickly. First thing I just wanted to touch on briefly, I don't know if this was covered already in the Connect group, but there was like seemingly a little bit of confusion around like the comms and Connect like integration, and this is going to be a merge. So I just wanted to like provide some clarity from what I understand. So we moved the call and now they're underneath each other. And then we're still going to have the two separate working groups and have a little bit more like streamlined passing of information. So like ideas get generated in the Connect working group call based on like research and outreach. And then those get turned into like issues for comms, or maybe they go to governance, or maybe they go somewhere else. So, and then like when we're going to use the Giveth planning board, we can manage that within comms, and like issues that are like make emails and like make blog posts will like follow our regular flow in comms and then get executed upon. And and people in both working groups are encouraged to be part of both working groups and like help to support on the research side and also help to support on the execution side. Is there any like still more like confusion or about that or any more questions or objections? Cool. Great. Cool. Nice. Next thing. Gitcoin grant round 14. So Gitcoin grant round 14, I think Suga already sent out the email and we've got our grant listings updated. So the grants round is going live. And I was just wondering if anyone wants to maybe make like a good cart, or if anybody has like already donated, because sometimes it's useful for us to like, well, obviously tweet out our grants, but then also to kind of like share some of like neighboring grants. And so, I mean, if you're on Gitcoin donating and you make a grant cart that's like projects in the Giveth galaxy that are sort of related, it would be super helpful to also share that with, maybe you could share it in the communications channel, and then we could share that out with our Twitter to help support like other related projects.
We can create a thread.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't need to be a thread. It would be like making a cart. So like adding projects to your cart and then being like sharing your cart if you donate. And then it can be like Katavi's curated Giveth Galaxy Gitcoin grants. yeah, cool. We can talk about it more later if you have questions. So that would be super nice.
And maybe
yeah.
reach out to Danny because she always has like a really good cart usually, or like some options, so she might be able to help you.
Totally, yeah. And
And
Danny,
also, just in case
go ahead.
it was misunderstood, I meant kind of like a Discord thread, not a Twitter thread, but just kind of like so that these links with the Gitcoin grants, Gitcoin projects don't get lost.
Oh, that's a cool idea. That's a good idea. Okay, and then create. Cool. Okay. The other thing I just wanted to mention and make sure that everybody's aware of, I'm not sure if you saw it in the governance call yesterday, but Santi has been working on these like givers NFTs. And so this will be kind of like an interesting thing for comms. It's basically like NFTs that are like representative of the giver persona. And then we're thinking about using them for like profile pictures, like special styled profile pictures on Giveth. And like you'll be able to buy these, and then if you like hold them, you get some kind of benefits, and like we could use them for like giveaways, and it'll be like great for like raising additional funds for Giveth. But yeah, so like the kind of like call to action and like thing for that's like looking for some support from like comms and other people is like, how would you like to see like givers be represented? So there are some solar punk-y kind of like characters in here, and like there's some ideas about like having backgrounds that are like related to like different projects, like whether they're like helping the ecosystem projects or like more residential based or like futuristic kind of city, and then like they're like giving something from their hands. That's kind of like the initial sketches, but there's a Miro board that Roger created actually, that's like there for idea generation. So if you have any ideas of like things that you think would be really great to represent the giver persona and would like to see in these NFTs, it would be awesome if you could just like throw some ideas in here. Wow, there's like lots like that are getting built out, but just in case you didn't see that, I think it's like a really great task for like anyone in comms who could just like wants to throw in some ideas. It doesn't have to be like a ton of work, just, oh my God, Kagatio, it's great. Great. Cool. So yeah, any questions on any of those things? Great. Okay. Strategy and content planning. So there's like a lot of awesome parts in here. I had a meeting with Sim and Corey last week, and we went over the strategy and the content planning, and we're like coming up with some ideas. And then I had another meeting with Corey earlier this week, and we were kind of like talking about some ways that we could implement this. So I just added in some points there on things that I think would be like useful to mention or get somebody to own. But so the first one is like I mentioned, I already mentioned this in the comms call. So actually, was anyone not in the Connect call that didn't hear about the Facebook? Okay, so everybody knows that we're gonna, okay, Facebook, we're thinking of activating our Facebook and having it target like the 101 level kind of nonprofit audience. So Corey's gonna be working on making it better and working with Claire to do a little bit of like outreach and getting like Giveth on different pages and like talking to different nonprofits, and like, yeah, they decided like, you know, we were talking about like the Twitter's really like a crypto focused kind of audience, and the Facebook could be like more of a 101 kind of level audience, especially since there's a broader range of people who are using Facebook seemingly, especially in the nonprofit sphere. So yeah, we're talking about like building that out, and Corey and Claire are going to take ownership over managing that. Yeah, so if you have any ideas, like there's an issue in the Giveth planning board called Facebook admin, where there's like some idea generation going on there on things to do for that. So feel free to add any thoughts in there, or reach out to either one of those people. Yeah. Cool. Another awesome idea that came out of those calls was just considering our website as like everybody, like all audiences go and see our website. Like Giveth.io is like the catch-all for every group, like for the crypto native people, for the crypto noob people, for the projects, for the donors. And so I think, like, I was thinking of creating an issue for this, but I don't know, let me know if anybody like feels inspired to do this, of like doing a little bit of like a website audit and just like going through the pages and reading it and like considering the different audiences and seeing if we're kind of like targeting them or if there's any like weak points that we should maybe change some of the communications or like build a little. I think it's pretty good, but yeah. Does anyone feel like exploring the website with like that in mind? Suga wants to do it. Okay. Okay, I'll create an issue for it, Suga, and then if you want to, yeah, I think that would be you would be great at that. Website audit.
There is a document that that I created with some basic things. If I can send the link through, Suga, and then you can take a look, and it's really got a couple of issues. It was mostly, it was like there's things not above the fold, like make a donation right away. There was create a project, that's there, but then not make a donation. So it was just small things, but it was really done in a very short amount of time. So it'll just give you something to work with. I'll pass it on.
Yeah, nice. So I'll actually just add a comment to that issue and also add Suga to it. Yeah, because I was thinking that issue was great with the different ideas that you created. So it's like instead of starting from reinventing the wheel, you could start with what Sim already put together here. Cool. Great. Thanks. Okay, onboarding documents to different level audiences. Yeah, I guess this is just like another thought that I wanted to share with you guys. Like, how, like, yeah, like once again, we kind of have these like the 101 level audience, the 201 and the 301, and it's like, what is Giveth, like what Giveth is to those different audiences is a little bit of a different thing. And I think Claire already started working on the project onboarding doc that kind of like explains what to tell your donors. And I think it would be useful for us to then also like create these kinds of resources to share with people who are coming into Giveth from the different, like from the different lenses. It's kind of like the 4 donors, the 4 projects, like for the totally new to crypto people and for the experienced in crypto people. And we could kind of like just have like the same sort of like what is Giveth spiel, but like hitting kind of like the different audience bases. Yeah, I feel like this is like a nice thing to do, but maybe we could kind of like make some issues and then like bench it for now and then kind of like take them on when there's a little more time. Yeah, so yeah, and then what is wrong with the nonprofit sector and what needs to change? And this is kind of like an idea for a blog. Okay, increased planning of content and execution in a non-overwhelming way. I think.
Yeah, this was mine.
I love it.
So it's probably connected to the Facebook issue that you mentioned that Corey and Claire are working on. If we're going to be focusing on Facebook for the 101s, then that means that the plan for Facebook will change slightly. But basically, I've been trying to reduce the planned content from a couple of posts a week, that was the original and kind of overwhelming, to just reducing it to 1 a week and then increasing cadence probably only in September, October, when we see how it goes and when we've got something to work on, to learn from. So that was really the comment around that. I had previously chatted with Elizabeth, but I don't think that she's on the call, and I know that sometimes she's not available for these calls. So I was just planning on doing this myself, or if someone else wants to be involved with the planning. I know, Lauren, you had mentioned also previously that you'd be involved, but I'm not sure how that'll work. So I can just chat with Corey as well and Claire about it.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I think maybe we can go through the board after getting through the rest of these agenda topics, and then sort of like see like what's kind of coming to a point of like being done and ready to put out, and then we can start to put it in the planning, in the content planning. Because I feel like we have a lot of like open issues that like I'm not sure when they'll be completed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the next step with that planning was really, are we going to go ahead with Plannable and agreeing on that, Plannable.io, or another one, and then putting that content onto the scheduler and scheduling it. But that just requires a lot of time. So it was really who's available to do it. But if no one else is available, then I'll do what I can.
Yeah, I think that Plannable seems like a cool resource to be able to be posting multiple things, but I just don't think that we have the content really ready yet to make like full use of it. And that we could kind of catch up a little bit, like build up the Facebook a little bit, start to kind of like figure out what posts and things that we're going to be putting on there. And then once we've kind of like created the content for it, then we can also like structure that in with kind of like, okay, using Twitter. I also use Tweet Hunter for Twitter planning and scheduling. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's useful or not to use Plannable yet. I feel like we could kind of like keep it in mind. And then when we're like, okay, now we're ready to use a scheduler, then like bring it in.
I can show you more about it, or we can chat afterwards. Then I can show you a bit more detail. It is really helpful when you're managing a couple of platforms, so that you don't have to use a variety of different ways to plan your content.
Okay, cool. Maybe, yeah.
It's a free version. If it was paid right away, then I'd say we can hold on it. But there is a free version that we can use.
Cool. Cool, that sounds good. So maybe we can just like kind of chat like after the meeting, or like at some time that you can, and you could kind of walk me through it a little bit more. Maybe Corey wants to come too. And
I was just gonna say, like, feel free to invite me to that, because I also have Instagram on my mind, which therefore that point made about Plannable, like in multiple platforms, actually makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah.
Cool. All right, I said that. Perfect.
Yeah, cool. All right. Project Owners 101 course. Yeah, so I added this to the agenda. I know we already have I think I created an issue, and Ahmad, you put the spreadsheet in there with like all of the lists. I'm wondering, do we want to like get activated on this? Because I think it would be still like a useful resource. People often ask like, hey, can you demo to me how to create a project? And it's I don't know, so easy. Like we could just make a video, and I think we could use a lot of the videos from the donor course and like piece them together on a different playlist. What do you think, Ahmad?
Yeah, I agree. So I commented on the list. I think though there's a lot that we need to record. I think only maybe 4 or 5 of them would be relevant for projects. There's a lot that we need to talk about in terms of how to get your project verified, how to promote your project, how to withdraw funds once you get donations. So I think like there's a lot more that we need to do, but yeah, I mean, I'm willing to and take it on, and if anyone here wants to support with recording videos, let me know. Yeah, so step 1 is just for everyone to go through this and see if there's anything that they want to add to this list. So that's the first step. And then second step is for people just to volunteer if they want to take on any of the videos, and I'll make a proper project plan for it.
I love it. So the spreadsheet is linked in issue number 722. So you could take a look there, and it's like the project focus tab. So you could leave any comments or like take ownership. These are kind of like, maybe I'll just delete the names that are here, unless, I don't know.
Yeah, actually, I think those are a bit old. Yeah.
This is old. We were talking about this before.
Yeah.
How come these ones are green? It's because they're kind of already done. Yeah.
Yeah, so the green ones are from the donor course, so we don't have to record those. But the other
Okay.
ones, I think there's like 13 that we need to record.
Okay, cool. Well, it sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, if anyone wants to leave a comment in the next couple of days on this sheet, if not, I'll just post this maybe in like a day or two, and then we'll get started.
Sounds great.
That issue number again?
It is number 722. I think this will be great. I think the Donor 101 course is so great. Awesome. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments, or like I could even tag you on the issue now if you're like feeling interested but confused about GitHub? Okay, cool. Nice. Great. Tweet for POAP instead of email. And POAP
Yeah,
add
so I can go through this one. This is also one that I added. So from the donor course and the quiz, we ran into a few issues. It's mainly 3 problems that I think we need to solve. So the first problem is we're getting a lot of random people fill it and bots. So we got like more than 10,000 people take the quiz, people in quotes. Out of them, maybe only like 100 are like real people. So like that's the first problem, is we're getting a lot of spam. The second problem is I think, and like this was briefly mentioned in the last call that we just had, is that I think we need to limit the amount of emails that we're sending, because like the more emails that we send, the more likely will be marked as spam, like we said. So that's the second thing that I'm a bit worried about, is if we get like 100 people fill up this quiz and we're sending them all emails, yeah, it will increase the likelihood that we're marked as spam. So that's the second problem. Third problem is it's not really making like a flywheel effect of the quiz. So people take the quiz and like no one publicly sees it, right? So what I was thinking was, as a last step, instead of them entering their email, maybe we can think of a way where they have to share it on Twitter and tag us, and then we'll say, I don't know, send us like a DM, and then we'll follow up with a POAP. One of the difficulties of that is someone would have to follow up on the DMs, but I think it might be a better alternative to like doing it that way. Or, I mean, maybe it's they share it and tag us on Twitter, and then we reach out to them later on. I'm not sure. Like, there's a few ways that we could do it, but I think it would limit how much spam we get, and it would make it something that's a publicly facing thing, so people would see that there's a lot of people finishing the quiz. And I think it might just be a better strategy. So I'm curious to hear if anyone has any thoughts on that.
I think, well, I was just going to check. I'm not sure if we have DMs enabled for Twitter. And like, I'm not sure it would be easy. I could check. But I think a lot of accounts have it like so that you can only DM them if they follow you. And I'll check to see if Giveth is like one of those. I like the idea of having them tweet about it and tag Giveth. And maybe maybe it'll be like a crazy, ridiculous amount of people. But I think it's almost worth a shot, because it would be great to get like more eyes on the Twitter. It would be like they maybe have to share a link to the donor course and tag Giveth or something like that. Like, I just completed the donor course, and we could kind of draft it for them or something. Oh, go ahead, Ashley.
I'm curious, how easy is it to make just a generic Twitter account, though? Like, I know in project verification, we get a lot of applications that the only post on their Twitter account is them sharing about their project. So they obviously created the Twitter account just to share about their project to get it verified. So I'm curious, like, how many people could easily just create a bunch of different accounts on Twitter, whether it would be worth it to them. I don't know. That's hard to tell. I didn't think that 10,000 responses would be received on the form to begin with. And then my other question, I guess I wanted to ask around this was, did you get a chance to check out that program that I sent you, or that, remember how Pythagorean has this like education course, the course into this. Did you guys see this in communications channel?
Yeah. I was working with him on it. He basically posted our donor course on their platform.
Is there a way that if people complete it on that platform that we can reward them through there? Like, do they need to make an account there? Can any random people just, maybe we should explore being able to reward them there? So this is also something that we can look into. Instead of using a type form, maybe we can use just a different way to conduct the quizzes. Like maybe the quiz can be right in there.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think, yeah, they do require you to log in. I didn't test what kind of quizzes are allowed. So yeah, let me check that and see what options they have.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of sharing the tweets because it brings publicity to Giveth and like it spreads our outreach and things like this. But then also it excludes people from who might not have a Twitter account or social media or something.
I mean, we could make it where they have to, I mean, if we go that route where they have to follow us and tweet at us. So in the very least, we'll get more followers and, more people mention us. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
I
if
mean, I
it's
think
only
we have to
100,
test it
that's
and see
one
if,
thing. If it's 10,000, that's a whole nother like level,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know. It's like, is it going to end up being like tons and tons and tons of people tagging and tweeting about Giveth in like this like ridiculous spammy way? I mean, but we also don't know unless we try. I feel like it's like worth a shot.
Yeah, I guess it's safe enough to do that like change maker campaign where we asked people to tweet, but we didn't have quite the same kind of reward. I also wonder if that's just it, if we just choose something,
Less enticing, but the
Yeah.
POAP is nice.
It is nice. I wonder if
Yeah.
we can choose some sort of other. I know we can mint NFTs on Achievement on XDAI, so it'd be super cheap to do it that way. I don't know. There's other things to look into, but then I just know that POAPs, like people hunt after POAPs specifically. They just look for that acronym after that specific thing. And on the POAP website, you can go through and scroll all the events and find all the different POAPs that have been created. It's all transparent.
But it's nice. It's nice.
I agree. It also has difficulties.
I don't know. So what do you guys
Anyone
think?
else have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, does anyone else have any remarks? Good question.
Well, I think that just in the case of like using the Twitter strategy, it is not so easy to automate like creating Twitter accounts. Although I do know that there are some like a lot of Twitter accounts that are fake, but not as easy as probably like a bot to fill out the type form. So yeah, most of these solutions, and depending of how important they are for your processes, you are just going to like take out some of the scammers. But then again, like this bot is more. I don't think it's so important. Even if they are bots, I mean, they will be kind of like boosting our Twitter. So I don't see it as such a big problem to at least try it out.
Well, I'm down to try it out.
Question: is everyone no. Do you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
We did for a second.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think it seems like we should just maybe give it a try. And we can like draft a tweet for it that says like, I completed this, but you have to like include certain things. You need to add a link to the donor onboarding course. You need to tag Giveth, and you need to say like the score you got on the quiz or something, and like make it to be like some work. Yeah.
Question. I had a question. Can we just make a limited amount of the POPs available so that can filter? I mean, I don't know if that could be helpful, but or meaningful.
Yeah, I mean, we can choose to make a limited amount. We can choose how many to mint at what time. If for some reason we end up like using a bunch, then the POAP team is going to question kind of like our intentions and what it is that we're using them for. So we don't want to go too crazy, but we also, yeah, we can choose just to start with like 20. And then there's different ways to administer them as well. So we can administer them to an email with a code, like a link to it. We can administer QR codes. We can put their wallet on a list so they can go to a page and claim it. So we have different ways to do this. Maybe we ask them in the tweet to put their wallet address if they want to receive the pull-up, or I don't know. But yeah, I think it's safe enough to try, and I think that Lauren has a point to make it worth more, make it a certain amount of work to actually go through and do it, and that will deter people from doing it multiple times.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Then I mean, let's do it like that for now, and then if we need to, I don't know, if we need to revisit again next week, let's just revisit again next week. Referral program from Givebacks pool. Who added that?
Yeah, that was me also. So for this, we were thinking about different ways to incentivize people to share Giveth projects. So one idea that we had was to have a referral link. And I mean, this is like done in a lot of like normal Web2 companies where, like you share a link and then like you get something if someone signs up. So like an affiliate link. But instead, maybe we can give a portion of the givebacks if someone donates. So like if I share my link and someone donates through my link, then in that giveback round, maybe I'll get some givebacks because I referred someone and then they donated. So I guess it's just something that I thought might be cool. And then what's also nice about that is then we could work with influencers without having to always have an agreement. So we could just say, if you want to work with us, just make a link and share it with your audience, right? And then you could get rewarded for that. So like it makes it like a lot easier for us to partner with people. And like, yeah, anyone from if they have only 5 followers to like 5 million could benefit from that. So I guess like the first question is I wanted to see what the group thinks of it. And then if we think it's a good idea, what's the next step? Should we make like a forum post where we talk about it and then like maybe put it up for a vote?
I think it's a cool idea, but I think it like would require some like weird, interesting, hacky development work, and it'll like then affect like the givebacks review and all kinds of things. So I think you should talk to Mitch about it, who's been doing like the votes to distribute givebacks, and see like, would this make things very confusing? I would talk to like Mitch, Mohammed. What do you think, Ashley? Anybody else?
Definitely those two. Maybe Monique. But I agree. I think that in the background, this is going to cause a lot of it's going to affect a lot of our processes that we have in place for distributing givebacks, as well as how do we collect the wallet address of the person with the link? How will we know which wallet to send a portion of the givebacks to, and what is the portion? Is it a percentage, or there's a lot of questions I feel like in there. not saying that I don't want to deter you from exploring the thing more, or and maybe it can come from a different pool. Maybe it doesn't come from givebacks. Maybe we have a referral program and it has its own budget or something like this, or yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And I think, I mean, yeah, totally. Maybe messing with the givebacks would make it a challenge, but we could do something else. Like maybe they get nice tokens or something, or G-Love. I don't know.
I really like the idea. And I think it could be very powerful, because when we were doing outreaches, well, when I was chatting to some of the influencers, they really all require some payment, and it's a risk for us. So if there's another way that we would be able to get them involved and have them benefit, and if this is the way, maybe it's in the back end, they are created as a non-profit project themselves or something, and then some of the funds are diverted that way. I don't know. But I think that it could be something that allows Giveth to be a bit viral and have, it's a great way instead of just being just having to pay influencers.
I think it's a cool idea. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I also really love the idea. I think that this can like potentially have ripple effects to give adoption, both for people that can help us, like can help projects get donations, but also to onboard other projects. And I really I love the idea. I think it's worth exploring, and I will volunteer to support on that. And I think Ashley is bringing a very good point to it. Like, if it doesn't have to come from the budget that we already have for the givebacks, but this is actually marketing, and we can have like a marketing budget of Give for partners that are either onboarding new projects or getting donations for other projects, and it can like even open business opportunities for people that are not in the core team of Giveth. And we had this person on Wednesday on the AMA session with Ashley, and she was actually onboarding an organization, and she said like, hey, this is super interesting. I would like to onboard maybe other nonprofits here in the US, here in Atlanta, I think she was. And she was actually asking about something like this, like, is there any like potential possibility of reciprocity? And I think this could be a great opportunity to untap.
And I'd even add on that with the donor side. I think when you have people working for people and they're not in the core team or internal, that's just gold. So any way to incentivize, that's also gold as well. Most people, that's kind of the motto of Giveth in terms of the charitable donations. You'll get givebacks themselves. So how do we keep incentivizing that next layer and that next layer, whether it's influencers or however it is? So definitely a brilliant idea. I'm not exactly sure, and I know that's what we're talking about on the back end, or the technical aspect of it. But any way to incentivize and do the referral program would also help the donor side as well.
Yeah, and I think a good place to start exploring would also be just to make sure that that's data that we're capturing, right? Do we have a way to track this? Are we tracking who's sharing what, and how are we tracking their share likes and this type of thing? And I'm really not sure.
I mean, I think that could easily be done with Segment. I mean, it's just would be something that you can add to the URL that would then add it. I mean, so I think like that part, I think is pretty straightforward, but it's more like, what do we do with the data once we have it, I guess.
Yeah, and so we would only then honor things shared from the website itself. Like if you shared, a different link somewhere else, it wouldn't count towards this referral program.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like they would get their own URL, and then if the person lands on that URL and then does an action within, I don't know, 30 days or whatever, we can set what the limit is, then it would count towards that referral.
Yeah. I'm not sure how we would track it, but I think that would be a good place to start. How we would. collect the information and who would get rewards.
Mhm.
Yeah, affiliates get their own custom URL, so that's how it's tracked. Like they, it would like you can tell through the URL like where it's coming from.
And would you give them that URL through Amplitude, or like what tool that we currently use would we be using to give these URLs and track it on?
I mean,
Or
making
would
the
we start like
URLs
a
would
new
have
tool?
to, yeah, I mean, making them would have to use some new tool to generate it, but then tracking it would just be through Segment. It's based on like the browser cookie, so I mean, that part is easy,
Okay.
I think.
Cool. Yeah, I don't really understand how that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe in the beginning we could use like an off-the-shelf solution just to test it out, maybe, and then integrate it into the app. I don't know. I mean, maybe I can write a forum post about it and then get ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, you could write a forum post about it, but maybe like before you write the forum post, I would like reach out directly to like Mitch or Mohammed and ask about the feasibility of using some cut from the givebacks. And then if that's not going to be feasible or possible, then the proposal would include like something like allocating an X amount of give to like a marketing budget and like the amount that would go out to these people. I think it would be great to get a forum proposal out about it to get a little bit more feedback from other people on like the general idea, but like the feasibility can be done like through a little bit of like advice process in DMs to start.
Cool. I'll do that.
Great idea, Ahmad. Thanks for that. Okay, project nominations flow. Ashley, you were saying you wanted to demo this?
Yeah, I can show you guys, and also maybe just get more reviews on the issue. I'm trying to find which issue it was. Do you remember the issue? Do you have it?
Something about token log. Allow, it's 703.
Nice, thank you. So I put in there a link to the type form. If you go down and then the token log, yeah. And you should be able to see it on the repo. So I did some test zaps. Here we go. Yeah, just create like a test. Yeah, and then you can just click there. And you'll see them up token log. Oh, but the one you just created is yeah. Maybe it takes a minute.
Maybe it takes a minute, yeah. Ooh. Best project ever. So you made this, Ashley?
Yeah, it was custom.
I saw this morning in my email. I was like, this is great. I thought it was Kai, but it's you.
Oh, yeah. So they'll all come up as Kai.
Yeah.
That's be an issue. It's weird because I see it in the repo. Like I can see the issue that you just made in the repo.
Huh.
And so I'm wondering, yeah, maybe it takes a second. I'm wondering if you guys want to look at like structure. I think that this is looking at it. I'm just not sure if we wanted to add anything, a video or make it more like dynamic like this. And the form seemed okay as you were going through it. Just like maybe if you guys want to take a look, it has the ready for review label on the issue, but there was one checkbox that getting people to vote was like the last checkbox, so it wasn't completely finished.
Oh yeah. Right. Well, I think getting people to vote is like we could do.
And maybe Melody's not in here anymore. I don't think any of the Connect people are in here anymore. But maybe I should tag them and see if they want to review it as well, Rainier.
Yeah, I can tag.
Thanks for sharing your screen. I was having
Yeah.
some issues. I have a lot of windows.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. So does it make sense to everybody? It's like you've got the type form where you can nominate a project, and the purpose of this is like to nominate a project that you want to see on Giveth. And then it'll show up in here in the token log, and you can actually vote on it if you have Give tokens. So it's like, I'm going to vote on this one, obviously. Cool, and it's not quadratic, so every Give token counts as a vote. Pretty cool.
And does it matter if it's grab give tokens, if they are on the farm or anything like that?
I think they. Oh no, it's Ggive. It's Ggive.
It's
The wrapped
says
Give
right up here.
Yeah,
it
so
says right up here in the top right.
Yeah. Yeah, true. There it is. Ggive. So you have to actually have them wrapped in order to vote. Cool. I forgot we set it up.
I wonder if we could put a link. Is there a way to link to the garden or to link people to be able to wrap them if they don't have wrap tokens? Vitor built this, right? Vitor's the one that put this together. Maybe we could ask him. We can add a link in there of like get Ggive here or something.
I can ask him.
Or I could also make a comment in the issue.
Yeah. Okay, I'll ask Vitor. He's not
Well, that was it.
What?
I was just saying that was all it. That was it. That was the demo.
Cool, nice. Well, thanks, Ashley. It's really cool. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Cool. Okay. Then we have that's everything on the agenda, and I think so we could just spend a little bit of time on some of the issues in the Giveth Planning Board. We definitely won't have time to go through everything, so I would love to know if there's like anything that you guys are working on that you need some feedback on that you want to bring up right now.
Yes. Just for the email for the projects that are raising a lot of funds, I haven't sent it yet. Just if there's no strong objections, from what I've seen, the email that it's more like without so much design, but more like just a short email, only text. That's been the one that has been more supportive. Does anyone has something to add on that, or we'll just send it?
Which one are you talking about?
Let me see. I don't see it. Okay. You can continue, and I'll look for it. And yeah.
Okay, sure. Or just what the email is to what? It's to projects. Who?
Yeah, to the projects that have been successful projects.
On Giveth.
I think it's 668.
Sounds familiar.
Reach out to top projects for success stories.
Yes.
Great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah, I think this is an email. Yeah, I think you can just put this as an email and then blast it off. And then Claire and Melody are not here, yeah. Yeah. Is that your question?
Okay. So just to close the issue, if there is no objections, I will add the last comments that you had, and I'll send it.
Sounds good.
Okay, good.
Nice. All right. Anybody else have any issues that they're working on they'd like some feedback on or some questions? All right. Well, then we can just check in on anything that's here outstanding. Snapshot, consume. Write updates for Giveth project and Giveth matching pool project. This is, yeah, you know, I was thinking to make a good example of like a project on Giveth that does regular updates. We should like actually like post regular updates. Is anyone interested in kind of like adding an update or writing an update, and then I can add them because I own these projects, but just like a brief kind of like what we've been up to or like what's been recent. Like you could take some stuff from the newsletters and just summarize it for Giveth, and then for the Giveth matching pool, you could kind of like talk about the discussion in the forum. Is anyone looking for work? Does anyone not have enough to do?
Let me take a look at it if you want to throw my name in there.
Okay. And I can give you some more context on that too, Corey.
Yeah, or like if I'm, you know, I'll take a look at it, and if I'm like, oh my God, I'll just see if I can partner up with somebody, or yeah, I'll let you know. But I'll take a look at it for now.
Yeah, you can also reach out to me like if you have any questions.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. We already talked about these donor outreach things. Add AMA invitation to emails. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see anything to like particularly bring up, and so if nobody has any other issues, I feel like we could just like end a couple minutes early. No, okay. Oh.
No issues. I was just going to say goodbye if that was the case.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you in the next week.
Thanks, Lauren.
Have a great day, everyone.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care.
Have a